Hello, teacher. My name is Maria Estrada, and we are group number 4, and we will answer the question: Is the university ready to receive all the students so that they can return to class next year? We explain the reason for our response and keep recommendation so that the students can return to face-to-face classes. We have 2 years since the coronavirus pandemic has begun. As we know, at the beginning of the pandemic, all school, college, and university were closed. Shopping centers were closed, and literally all of Honduras was closed because, as we know, the coronavirus is highly contagious disease, and that is why we must keep our distance from people and take security measures such as constantly using disinfectant, gel, or alcohol, and always wearing our respective masks. There came our point in the pandemic when we believed that there will be no more infection. However, when people room where we're even more infection. As I says before, we have already been through the pandemic for 2 years, and the cases of the coronavirus are still high. But with a new variant, we must take better care of ourselves. That is why, as a group, we conclude that the university is not ready for all students to return to face classes. However, we should go because from home the students learn less. But in order to return to the university, we must use biosecurity measures, and yet many students are very responsible. They do not use gel or alcohol and use the mask irresponsibly, and that engineer fears. In teacher and students, since no one wants to get infected, the university must take sufficient biosecurity measures so that no teacher or student get infected. I leave you with my partner, and she'll keep talking to you about why it shall not go back to class. Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Tire Peralta Carillas, and I consider so the university is not ready. This year, the university began resuming face-to-face classes, such as required practice such as laboratories, experiments, and evaluations. This is very important because courses such as architecture, medicine, dentistry, and nutrition, and etc. They demand practice in order to perfect themselves properly, exercise their professions. The second period, more face-to-face classes were extended. Some are seeking arts and sports and face-to-face exams. Education declared if we have more than 17% of virtual class. This is one of the best universities in the country, but this is not an education that we deserve. Recently, at the university, there was a COVID outbreak in the math and engineer faculty. This indicates that the university is not ready for face-to-face classes. because it is not safe for the students and staff of the university. However, they kept trying, and this last period of the year, they have accounts that they will continue to do so. So we hope that people can fulfill their obligations as citizens to prevent the spread of disease. Please wear your mask to ensure a safe return.
Hello teacher, I hope you are good. I am Samuel Pineda Aguilar and I will share my opinion about whether or not we should return to the university in person. Well, as we have seen, everything around us is practically enabled, including school and high school, which is where people younger than us university students attend. So I think we should attend university in person because how it is possible that on the beaches, bars, dance schools, parties, a larger number of the people go and also that they pass by security measures without mask, without frequently cleaning their head, and without keeping their distance from each other. Least a method that university should be ready be now with all the biosecurity measures in order to give students better learning. Now, in order to carry out face-to-face classes, both teacher and student must practice biosecurity measures and thus be able to avoid contagion of people, and all people who go to the university must be vaccinated with at least 2 vaccines. So, can we return to the university in person? Yes, we can, but we must be very careful because this COVID-19 disease is here to stay and we have to learn to live with it. University students and other countries have been attending university for a long time, and I believe that for that the National Autonomous University of Honduras, it is time to check it from blended to face, and it should be noted that most of the students do not like to be receiving virtual classes and face-to-face exams. So let's go back to college. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Axel Lainez and this is my opinion on the return to face-to-face classes at the university. As a student, I am intrigued when we will be able to return to the classroom. And after 2.5 years of the pandemic, we have not been able to do so. But let's not folly. If you ask the majority of students, they will answer that they are already fed up with the virtual education system, since there are many factors that make experience and especially the learning boring and tedious. And therefore, for the most part, we want to return to fully face-to-face activities instead of the blended modality. Although it is true that the university is very extensive and that it has the capacity to receive all the students enrolled. Well, truth is that the biosafety regulations prevent it, and how judge such measures, taking into account the many deaths that have occurred in the country. However, at this point, it is incredible that the pandemic is still subject the highest house of study so much, since in the rest of the world, educational institutions have to the normal. With going very far, universities such as Unitec, the National University of the Agriculture, and the Catholic University of Honduras began face-to-face classes a long time ago, leaving our university behind. With such pressure and the time that has passed, without a doubt, the university such teaches classes in classrooms. However, poor administration and planning, the little interest of the population in getting vaccinated, and the indifference of the state mean that the university simply does not be ready to welcome your students. This was my opinion. Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Hector Celay. I believe that the university is not like fully prepared, but can be without great expense or changes. I think that the university has completed with the recommendations that are necessary to return to class, but it's only did it for only certain days or the first few days, because in my experience I have seen times, for example, that say that only a certain number of people are allowed in a classroom, but the reality is that sometimes in the same classroom there are up to twice as many people as should be allowed, that there are very few disinfection stations in many parts, and there's some other lack of biosecurity measurements. But I think that these are small changes that can be made quickly and that will allow to return to the university. I also think that we students should also do our part, because I have seen that we students sometimes know the measures we should take and we don't do them, and we are already the great majority of us adults who should not be reminded of things like don't take off our mask, or like crowding in a room or in the classrooms or in the outside spaces. Also, as schools reopen, it is important to take precautionary measurements both inside and outside of classrooms to prevent the spread of COVID-19. One of the measurements that can be taken is social distance. Regarding physical distance, some basic classroom rules need to be established. Some recommendations that we can follow are to maintain a distance at least of 1 meter between everyone in the university. To do that, students use different entrances if it's available, or establish an order for entering and exiting the buildings or classrooms, so that prevent the crowding of people or the spread of COVID-19. Stagger the starts and ends times of classes to avoid all the students and teachers entering or leaving the university or the classrooms at the same time. If it is possible, space permits, consider to increase the number of teachers so that there will be fewer students per classes, and ventilate classrooms as much as possible, and to encourage the students to not gather in large groups to socialize. Also, there are another recommendation that we can have is to ventilate classrooms after the disinfection, and that to have classroom with a great ventilation can help to reduce also the spread of COVID-19.
Hi, my name is Joseph Alexander Gomez Moran, and my opinion about this topic: if is the university ready to host all the students to come back to the class next period? Well, I think that the university isn't ready. Why, you will say? Well, because to make it happen, The university needs to make a plan where all of us go to receive classes, and at the same time take into consideration the COVID-19. And with this, to implement the security system to not get the COVID-19. Well, also it's a risk for us like students, because we have seen people. Well, we have seen more like young people in parties, in restaurants, in parks, in public places, and some of the people are acting like nothing of this is happening, like there is nothing in the world like COVID-19. Well, that's a risk for us and for other people, that even for our family, if we go to the university, some of the people even don't use face mask. I have seen a lot of people that don't use face mask. Also, not all have been vaccinated. Some of people even believe that the vaccine is a microchip, or it's only to kill people, or even that is a way to create new diseases. And even worse, now the world is having a outbreak of monkeypox, where this can be spread in contact with other people, in close or personal contact, skin to skin, or just touching an object that is infected with the people with monkeypox, or the coughs or sneezes of a person with monkeypox. They are similar to the ones of COVID-19. So, what made me think about this? I think that we all have a responsibility in our house and in our society to go and protect ourselves when we are out and when we are going to a public place. So how the university can make this happen? What I can say about this is that the time is what will decide, and we have to see to see how everything develops this year, and if it's feasible to go to the university the next period. That's my opinion about if we are ready to go to the university the next period. Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Fernando Diaz, and today I'm going to give you my opinion about the next question, a very interesting question. Is the university ready to host all the students to come back to class next period? Yes or not? Explain and recommendations. Well, my straight answer is yes. The UNA or the university is ready to host most of the students the next period. I'm gonna give you my reasons. Well, the reasons. Yesterday I did my research and I asked two doctors, one that works in the Hospital Escuela and the other one that works in the Hospital Militar. And I asked them about the situation of the COVID-19, and they told me that right now we are having very good numbers. We have a very good control of the COVID-19, and right now it's like a flu. Let's say it's like a gripe that usually you'll have in your normal life. Even if you are not in a pandemic situation, you are going to have flu or something like that. So right now the COVID-19 it's like something like that. And I asked them about the death of COVID-19, and they told me that most of the people have diabetes or cancer, and they have to put the reason COVID-19, but the real reason, the main reason is diabetes or something like that. So for me, the government has to put some more attention to the university. It's very crucial to the country to have a very nice, very good level in the university, in the college. you're making professional people and you have to put more attention. For example, people bring musicians to, and they have stadiums to the fullest. Every weekend when Olympia and Motagua are playing, you have not hundreds, thousands of people. So my recommendations is that yes, we have to, the university has to host most of the students. Rules, in class you have to wear your mask, you have to have the alcohol, and you have to follow rules. But yes, it's time to come back to class and to have a normal academic life. So thank you for watching. This was our opinions about this interesting question, and hope you liked the video. Thank you and goodbye.